Man, I love making tier lists. What's up, guys? I'm making a skill tier list, a Dino skill tier list. How I'm gonna be ranking this is like, so all I'm doing here is making a tier list. You have two people playing the same playable. How much better can one person play than the other? You have someone who's the best at that playable, and you have someone who's the worst. Like, how well are they going to fare? What's the difference? That's what I'm recording here. So I think we should start. Akillo. It's also going to be the case of just how good a dino is in the meta right now. Like, there's not much skill expression for a crappy dino. You get me? So Akillo, I mean, I just can't say it's that good. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. There's no doubt. I'll probably drop it in A tier. It's difficult. You can get pretty good at it, I would say. Alio, it's not great, but it does take quite a bit of skill to use, I would say. I'm pretty comfortable placing it at like the front of A tier or somewhere close to that. Allo, it's the least dynamic out of the three, out of Allo, Dasp, and Picno. It takes skill, but like it's just there's not much dynamic to it. I really don't think there's gonna be much of like a play difference when there's a skill difference. It's not gonna be very noticeable. So I think I'll drop you into B tier. All right, Serato. Kind of shitty. Kind of a shitty dino. Really needs a buff. Really just needs something. Don't play this thing. Don't play this thing. And I can't really say like there's much. I can't really see the skill expression. It's just kind of a crappy dino. Nonetheless, I think it's a little more dynamic than Allo. I think I would be able to see a skill difference more so in the Sarah players than the Allo players. Conk. Now, Conk's pretty good. Conk's pretty good. And you can probably tell the difference between a really good Conk player and a really bad Conk player. How many times are they ripping kick? Like how many times are they using that? How well are they dodge and weaving? How well are they securing kills? It's a very viable dino. I think I'm trying my best to not make this just another like best dino tier list. I'm really trying my best. I mean, it's a pretty difficult dino, I will say. Maybe A tier. I think it about belongs there. Dasp, definitely more dynamic than the Allo. It's Fracture. I mean, it's not the most difficult thing to hit, but it's fun, I guess. It has a pretty tiny hurt box, so you can kind of dodge and weave a little bit better. At least a tiny hurt box from the front. And you can kind of like turn your head, kind of like how Titan turns its head whenever it's fighting something. So I feel pretty comfortable putting it above Allo. You're going to notice a trend where the smaller playables are at the top just because they're more dynamic. And because they're more dynamic, you're gonna see a noticeable play difference or output difference when you factor in skill. Denon, you're not a combat playable. You go into the no realm. Lat is a very, very risky, very dynamic, very difficult play. I'm very, very comfortable with putting it into S. Pretty sure there shouldn't be anyone to argue with that. The only way it could be not as skillful is with its pardon my language, horseshit Pounce. Pounce is maybe the second worst addition to the game, or maybe third worst, behind the grab and the AoE attacks. So, but I'm pretty comfortable putting an S, I'll say. Meg, you belong in S. There's no doubt about it. You belong in S. Very difficult play. usable in the water. Fighting Sarcos, very fun to watch. Landing those heavy bites, very fun. You can kind of take advantage of how you're so low to the floor. Very great, very great. Probably go behind Lat. Metri. I'll admit, despite how terrible it is at everything, it does take some skill to play. That's apparent. Take some skill to play. I'd be willing, like tail riding. Tail riding Rex is, oh my gosh, is it fun to watch? Symmetry tail rider Rex. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm willing to put it behind Serato. Pycno. Now, I'm biased a little bit, but Pycno's pretty difficult. Head slam is maybe the hardest thing to hit in the game. I feel pretty comfortable in saying that. It is painful to hit. I mean, the only time where Pycno wouldn't take much skill is when you're running away from something, or like the stam recovery. That kind of, it gives you a little bit of leniency in playing the Pycno. But its turn radius and weird hitbox ranges, I think makes it like S tier. I think I'm gonna put it above the Meg. They're about on par, I would say. They're about on par. Sarco. Kind of, it's a forgiving playable at a lot of times. I don't know. I don't have a good gauge with this. I've seen some very fun Sarco plays. You see Germs Gaming take down 20, not 20, but like 12, actually. 12 other Sarcos. And you can kind of see the difference in skill. Though those are probably paid actors. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I don't even, in fact, I don't even think that. With that being said, Sarco, I think it's difficult play in water combat. Very difficult, very fun. You get an extra dimension instead of having X or Y or X and Z. You have the Y or the Z. You have X, Y, and Z. So I think I feel comfortable maybe placing it between these two, or I don't know. I'd say it's about on par with Das, maybe even in front. I don't know. Spino, on the other hand, you have there are two routes. You can go the cool C Ronix route and not go AoE. AoE just really just bottoms the skill ceiling. That it lowers the skill ceiling, what I'm trying to say. It really makes it not fun to play against or play as. It doesn't make it dynamic at all. Terrible addition with AoEs. I feel you're going in C, buddy. You're going in C. No doubt about it. Suko. Even though it's not even technically slower than Hallow, might be by just a tad, especially with the new updates. It's very dynamic. You can go different builds. You can probably easily tell the skill difference between two Sukos, like a really good Suko and a really bad Suko. They probably play pretty differently. I feel pretty comfortable putting you probably behind the Sarco. I mean, the Sarco, it's a little difficult. I know I'm gonna get some comments about that. I feel like Tylo, even though you're new, you're definitely not the most difficult to play. It's very forgiving. Playing Tylo, very forgiving if you're in a 1v1 against another Tylo or really anything else. Very forgiving. In a skilled Tylo, I guess you can kind of see with their like Joust, you can kind of see the skill difference. But Joust is, I mean, it's a pretty easy hit to well hit. And the dodge and weaving, I mean, Tylo's pretty slender, even though it's fat in a way. Even though it's big, it's kind of slender. I'd feel pretty comfortable placing you above C tier. I feel like I'm just grading them based on combat weight, almost. All right, Rex. Man, Rex. I watched a video recently, not very recently, maybe a month ago, and there was this guy saying like he's a very skilled Rex player, and I'm like, wow, I never thought that could be a thing. And I watched the video, and what he was talking about when it came to skill was ambush. And I'm sitting there thinking, is ambush really a like combat skill? I mean, like sneaking up to an opponent, I guess there's skill in that. It's not very dynamic. And is it really even combat? Like you can definitely say like timing a good fracture or timing a good heavy bite or a heavy attack of some sort. There is more combative than ambushing someone. Rex, it's so good at being like a sentry that there's very little skill expression to go with it. I feel pretty comfortable putting you in D tier, even below Spino, which is interesting. Probably get some comments about that. Titan, it's really freaking good. It's, oh my God, just clip my mic. It is so good. Especially you can tell the skill difference between a good Titan and a bad Titan, even though there's, even though the skill difference isn't much, the output, like what's happening, what they're doing, how many kills they're securing, you can tell. You can definitely tell. I feel pretty comfortable probably putting you about there. Probably about there. Alberta. I'm just now recently getting onto this thing. It's been fun. It's a rather strange play style. Tail riding is exceptional on this thing. You could probably tell with blocks. The addition of blocks, probably one of the best additions to this game. Makes everything so dynamic. And speaking of that, they should buff EO's blocks, or at least make them more viable instead of giving it like more armor or whatever the hell it gives it. Give it like some damage. I don't know. That being said, I can probably tell skill difference between two Bertas, like or like what they do. Really bad Berta, really good Berta. I can probably tell. But where would I put it? It's kind of like a completely different scale, like because I'm now grading the herbivores. I think I would put you probably in front of Sarco. I think I'm kind of comfortable with that. I really don't know what this Sarco pick. A Marg. A Marg is strange, in that it's kind of fun, but temporarily fun. You can absolutely roll in Apex. You can like ping pong with it all day, but it doesn't do much damage. It's like I'm hitting them with like a pool noodle repeatedly, hundreds of times. But it's kind of dynamic. It just kind of sucks right now. I don't know. They should up its base damage just a little bit. I don't know. With that being said, I think I'm willing to place it below Alberta, just for now. Anno is the herbivore version of Rex. I hope that's established. Yeah, this sucks. It's like tied with Rex. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't tell you if this Anno player has been playing for 6 minutes or sorry, however long it takes to grow, plus however minutes they're finished growing, and an nano that's been playing for a year. Could not tell you. Could not tell you at all. It's going down there. Bars, strangely enough, very, very strange. Bars, you can tell, you can really, really tell a good bars from a bad bars. You know, Flight X Star versus me on my bars. I mean, you would really tell. I would destroy Flight. No, I would probably get him to maybe 75% health before he killed me. I'm not gonna lie. With that being said, I'm gonna put you in A tier, probably behind Conk. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Camto, you're basically like a Denon. You're not combative. No skill. You can't see skill. Duck. Easily the worst Apex, you know, with EO. But it is more dynamic than EO. It's definitely more dynamic than EO. It just doesn't do much. I mean, it's Murder Goose, kind of sucks. Every time you use it, the opponent's just like, oh, I'll just leave for 30 seconds and come back. It's very defensive. You know, use it whenever you want to get away, I feel like. Could I really tell a difference between a good duck and a really bad duck? Probably. I probably could. That being said, probably not very well. Probably not very well at all. Probably going to place you probably about there. You really can see combat weight apart from this weird little creature. EO, if you were ever, now I'm talking about the sharpening horns EO. If you were ever under the notion that EO takes skill or has skill expression, or if you were an EO main and you think that, okay, this sounds rude, and you think that you're like good at the game because you can kill stuff on EO, I'm sorry to tell you, you should probably stop eating like lead or like purple crayons or something like Red 40. You should put that, you know, take that out of your diet, wait a month, and then come back to Path of Titans. And not only will you be better at the game, you won't be playing EO as much. I'm sorry, that's shots fired. That's really mean. That's really mean. But there was a video of this guy or of this person playing EO with their feet. Like what? If you could imagine playing like a PvP shooter or something, and you know all the other characters, they take actual like mechanical skill, and then one character, one legend agent, whatever you would call them, you can play on like the like racing game wheels, like a driving wheel. Imagine that. Imagine that. You go bottom of D. If I could, in fact, wait a minute. Can I add row below? Sorry, this is EO. You go there. You go there. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Iggy. Iggy would be so much more dynamic if you know, most of its moves, sorry, if most of its moves didn't stop its velocity or its momentum, it would be so much more dynamic, and you would be able to see the skill expression. I mean, with its block, you can kinda, and its back kick, but other than that, and maybe its charge, you know, thinking about your stamina and your health, but you kind of do that with everyone else. I feel pretty comfortable placing you. I'm really going to get some comments about this. I can already tell. I don't even know. Sarko's a wild card. Kintro. Kintro is the better Stye in every way apart from its health recovery. It's really good, and I could probably see skill expression with it. I could probably see it. Can I see it very well? I mean, I don't know. I don't have a great of a gauge for this. I'm pretty comfortable with placing you at the front of B tier. I think front of B tier or bottom of A. Lamb, again, not a great gauge. Really not a great gauge for this guy. There's not much you can do. It's like the opposite of Kintro. Not much you can do with it. You can kind of like run and like slide in like rodeo kick, but it kind of reeks. Kind of just sucks. Yeah, I don't like C tier, like front of C. I really can't see this guy taking or really showing skill expression at all. I think I'm gonna leave you there. Miragaia. Hey, I'm almost developing like a really messed up bell curve. Anyways, Miragaia. Outshined by the Kintro 100-fold. Can you see skill expression? Yeah, you can. You definitely can. It's just like, you know, it's I don't know. I don't have a great gauge for this little guy. I'm just gonna place you there. I'm gonna put more in like C tier, A tier, or something. Might have to, you know, so I can make a good thumbnail about this. Hacky. Hacky has everything good except its range. And I think because of that, there is a definitive skill expression with this little lad. You can definitely tell when someone is new to Packy and when someone has been playing for ages. Definitely, 100%. I'm pretty comfortable placing you somewhere about here. Pretty damn comfortable. Yeah. Stego. Stego it's not very forgiving. Not very forgiving. Even with its damage, hitting hits, you have to brake or turn in the right direction at the right time. You don't have to do it as much on a Marg because a Marg's tail is not only longer, but goes from left to right much more. So I don't know. I probably about here, probably in front of the Alberta. Well, maybe it's just my experience. I can definitely, because I've played Stego a lot, I can see that, oh, this Stego player is new to the game or is new to that playable. And then I see a Stego that is like, oh my gosh, this person has been playing for a while. I'm not going to be able to hit the tail very easily. So I don't know. Might be the other way around. Who knows? Shruti, you are not a combat playable. To the Shadow Realm. Stye. Oh my gosh, B tier is getting large. Stye is you can tell. Stye sucks in the current meta. It's pretty bad. Even with the group. Like there are much better alternatives. You can pretty easily see a skill expression, like skill difference. Do you need skill to play it? Yeah. I mean, kinda. I would even place you maybe above the Kintro. Yeah, I gotta do your skin a little large. Only a few more left. Hats. You are possibly the most difficult in the game. You are next to Lat easily. You are so dynamic. You also kind of suck, you know. with your health and your damage and really everything. But it's a whole new game playing hats. I feel pretty comfortable placing you at the very tippy top. Just like that. Ramp, if you try not to be like an asshole right now, if you think there is a really notable skill difference in ramps, you can't even really measure it very well. There's no like combat to it in terms of what I'm talking about. But even helping a fight, ramps play a pretty minuscule role in a fight. If that fight is, I mean, apart from their Envenom, that Venom can be annoying on like Picno or Stego or Amarg or whatnot. But if that fight is not lasting for 20 minutes, 10 plus minutes, you're not doing much. You can't really see the skill expression very well. I mean, maybe like Lucky Feather or Ramp one too many times or something. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I'm not even including it. It's not like a same with you. Maybe you'll get a TLC and you will become combat viable. Hopefully. Dolphin. I love Dolphin. Very, very difficult play. I feel like one day I should play Dolphin, like a live recording, and connect, like measure my heart rate whenever and like display it on the screen whenever I'm playing Dolphin in a fight against like a Tyler or something. That is maybe the most I've been engaged in Path of Titans ever. Unfortunately, can't find fights. Riparia, it's desolate. It's pretty desolate. There is definitely skill expression with this guy, with this little lad. Even in the few fights that I've played, I feel pretty comfortable placing you like, I don't even know, like somewhere in between. You're pretty much tied with the conch, I would say. I might even put you ahead. You could even be an S tier. I mean, I mean, even with its like pounce, which is really annoying, you know, I don't like using it. I don't like being used on. I don't like fighting it. Whatever. Kai, with its TLC, it's pretty. Oh, I clipped my mic again. It's pretty easy to hit shots. Pretty easy. You know, the knockback is a lot of volume in the water that the hurt box travels. So, you know, might be skillful. Definitely more skillful than this little shit. Probably place it. You got to be like above the Sarco, right? Like next to Sarco or something. Probably place like that. And of course, all these are not combat playables. Tell you what, I'm going to cut here and I'm going to see if I'm going to change anything, configure it, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I made a few modifications. I think I just moved the pack key up a bit. I moved the lamb from C to B, very bottom. And I changed around, I put Iggy behind Suko and Das. I think that's all I did. Yeah, that's about all. Please don't take this too seriously. But do comment about it. I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. That'd be pretty neat. Anyways, my name is Chickenbox and have a wonderful day. So what I'm doing here is just sing Brain, bro. Love the channel, but since it's so niche, every time I try and search for it, I'm forced to look at chicken culling videos.